Actors might sometimes work together and have known one another for years in the odd world of Hollywood. Or, in the case of Demi Moore and Billy Bob Thornton, Moore can forget that she had been acquainted with Thornton for some time before they began collaborating on the Paramount Plus series Landman. In the new Taylor Sheridan series, we find ourselves in Texas as Thornton's character, Tommy Norris, a millionaire, competes with other tycoons to profit from the oil that may be found there. Although Moore has previously collaborated with Thornton, she plays Cammie Miller and spends a significant portion of her scenes opposite Jon Hamm. Moore, however, stated during a recent series FYC event that she needed to be reminded that she knew Thornton. Thornton not only collaborated with Bruce Willis, Moore's ex-husband, on films such as Armageddon and The Astronaut Farmer, but he also starred in a picture with Moore before he even started opposite Willis. Hey everyone, hope you're having a good day. Before going to the main topic, I want to say like this video and subscribe to the channel. Thornton and Moore both starred in Adrian Lyne's 1993 picture Indecent Proposal. Thornton didn't have a significant part in the movie, but during the FYC event, the two made a joke about how Moore had met him on several sets he worked on with Willis, but she couldn't recall how she first met him. While moderating the discussion, Stacey Wilson Hunt, a contributor to The Hollywood Reporter, questioned Moore about her encounter with Thornton and their future collaboration on the show. At the time, Thornton claimed, "She didn't remember me." He continued by revealing that Moore frequently stopped by the set while he was working. "The way we got to know each other was because I did 3 films with Bruce Willis," said the actor. "And you always brought the children to set. Thus, we have been acquainted for many years." When E.T. questioned Thornton about his first encounter with Moore at the Landman premiere, he mentioned how endearing she was. "She was just a very sweet person," Thornton has stated at the premiere. "She treated me really well. I was just trying to figure out what I was doing in the 2 scenes I had in that film." It is great to see both Moore and Thornton excel in the Sheridan series, even though Moore didn't recall working with Thornton on the set of Indecent Proposal. The two do recall working together on Landman. Misery stands out among the countless Stephen King adaptations because it is based on a scenario that mirrors the author's own horrific experiences with toxic followers. The movie centers on novelist Paul Sheldon, played by James Caan, who is revived after a car accident by his greatest fan, Annie Wilkes, played by Kathy Bates. However, it turns out that she may not be as sympathetic as she seems. King considers the psychological horror film to be among the best adaptations of his work because it masterfully conveys the horror of the original source material. But considering that King is a huge fan of Taylor Sheridan's Landman, would he have preferred it with Billy Bob Thornton in it? Although that is still unknown, Thornton did come close to being cast in Misery. Speaking to Bates for Variety's Actors on Actors, the Landman star disclosed that he was offered a supporting role in the film by director Rob Reiner, but it wasn't the most noteworthy one. In his own words, Thornton felt that Misery wasn't worth his time, even though he aced his audition and was given the role. Even though it appears that he and Reiner disagreed about his character's screen time, the Landman actor and Reiner nevertheless got along well as a result of the experience. Movies sometimes exclude moments that aren't essential, and Misery was no exception. Rob Reiner gave Billy Bob Thornton an opportunity to earn some cash, even if the scenes that would have featured his character were unnecessary. To use Thornton's exact words in the end, Thornton turned down Reiner's offer because he didn't want to be disappointed when he realized he wasn't in the film. The actor has never had trouble finding work, so missing out on the Stephen King adaptation didn't negatively impact his career in any way. In addition, he currently commands a lot of screen time as the main character in the popular Taylor Sheridan series. It's embarrassing, not edgy, to perform poorly. More often than not, fans have turned off Landman Season 2 due to annoyance rather than boredom. Landman appears to be trapped in a cycle of professional failure, in contrast to Yellowstone, where even defective characters feel capable. The show is full of irrational decisions that break immersion, from oil executives who don't understand land deals to a barman who starts arguments. Instead of disliking, viewers are hopeful and hold out hope for competence that never comes. They are pleading for authenticity and depth. Landman needs to respect its characters and viewers by making their decisions and employment seem plausible if it is to succeed in Season 2. Characters in Yellowstone are unquestionably capable, yet having dubious morals. Despite the brutality, Rip, John, and Beth manage to get things done. However, in Landman, we are expected to support oil executives, employees, and consultants who frequently appear to be inexperienced, ignorant, or dangerously careless. It's like reading an anatomy of dysfunction when you scroll through Landman fan reactions. The lawyer Rebecca, Kayla Wallace, loses to a child who has never taken a law class. People with skills that aren't appropriate for their roles are promoted by Monty, John Hamm. Employees at nursing homes entrust field outings and alcohol service to unidentified women. Instead of performing her duties, a barmaid quarrels with patrons. Each figure seems to have a professional insignia, but not the expertise to support it. The outcome? A professional show in which no one acts like a professional. In addition to poor execution, the show relies heavily on fabricated subplots that defy reason. For instance, a 401k discussion appears like an impromptu advertisement, perplexing both writers and spectators. This was pointed out by one fan. Furthermore, the hazing scene, in which a child is hurt for a joke, is not credible or edgy. It is just dangerous and, once more, unprofessional. Characters make impossible choices in addition to bad ones. Viewers' faith in the show's internal logic is undermined by these plot points. Landman left you wondering how any of these folks still have jobs in a place where Yellowstone lionized its characters for better or bad. The narrative falters as it attempts to elevate characters whose deeds betray their reputations. Even Monarchy has its missteps, even though Taylor Sheridan is the current king of Western melodrama. Landman is seeing its early momentum dwindle more quickly than a puddle in August in West Texas, even though it has a star in Billy Bob Thornton and is about a topic as unstable as the oil business. According to Flix Patrol via Collider, the show has now fallen to number 17 on Paramount Plus in the United States, a sobering decline for a series that made its debut with the kind of swagger typically reserved for Yellowstone-adjacent content. Sheridan brought out the entire cast, including John Hamm, who outclassed the room and was killed off right away, Michelle Randolph, who represented the chaos factor of Generation Z, Demi Moore, who was thrown into the mix as a magnetic ex-wife, and Ollie Larder, who played a sort of frustrated Greek chorus. Every component that was required was present. That signature belongs to Taylor Sheridan, yes. That formula, however, may be calcifying in Landman. At least Yellowstone had mythos, even though it frequently crumbled under its own Baroque machismo. In contrast, Landman reads more like a PowerPoint presentation about hydraulic fracturing with a dash of cowboy boots. A more important metric, narrative urgency, is shown in the positioning of streaming charts. Shows fail when viewers lose interest in what will happen next, not because they are terrible. If Season 2 wants to matter, it has to grow up. Because right now, Landman doesn't feel like a story being told. It is similar to maintaining a brand. Let us know in your comments. And stay tuned by subscribing our channel to get more updates like this. Thanks everyone.